mama. This is my new kitten. Oh, okay, he wants down. He's got the biggest balls I've ever seen on a cat as well. What is like a good way to do an intro? I mean, is there really a good way to do an intro? But hello, and I'm back. Well, we'll see how long I'll be able to keep this up. I feel really excited to be able to do a video, especially one that I've been thinking of doing for a long time. So in today's video, I really wanted to do something art related. I want this to be an art channel, or like related just to art, because that's something that I'm passionate about, and wanting to make videos more related to that might give someone who wants to start art inspiration, motivation, or just somewhere to start in general. I asked loads of questions ages ago on the Instagram, just ask me anything art related, and I've got so many responses. These are also questions that I get on like a daily basis, or like when I talk about art to other people. This is what I get asked quite a lot, and it's very repetitive, so I'm having to repeat myself all the time. Just gonna get started into the art related Q&A. When did you start drawing? I think I've been drawing like my entire life. I don't think I can actually pinpoint when exactly I started drawing. I can just always remember from when I was little just drawing, doodling. I can't actually say when exactly I started drawing, but pretty much ever since I could hold up a pen and paper, maybe that's when I started being able to draw. When did you start getting into painting? I've never actually always been into painting. It started probably when I was about 13, when I really got interested in it. I started finding out about acrylic, about oil paints, white spirit, like different types of paper. Like I really started to get into it when I was about 13, maybe 14. So drawing was like something that I was like into, and then I started learning about painting later on. What media do you use when painting? I use oil paints. Specifically, Winsor & Newton is the brand that I use. I also like to paint on like anything that I can find. Like I painted on pieces of card, not pieces, you know, like card packs. I painted like 2 paintings on cards. One thing that I love painting on is a mount board. I think it's so much better. I cannot stand canvases. I've just never been able to like them. I don't think they're really good. I don't like the texture of them. I use oil paints and I paint on mount boards. Did you go to college to study art? Yes, I went to college for 2 years at the University of Creative Arts. I learned so much there, but I didn't actually enjoy it. I just felt a lot of it was repetitive of when I was in school. I didn't enjoy it at all. First year was worse than the second year. The first year was actually the basis of fine art, because that's what I've got a diploma in. I've got a level 3 extended diploma in art and design from college. I just didn't like it, but that's my preference, and I didn't want to go to uni to study art because I thought it'd be more like a waste of my time when I like doing things at my own speed and what I want and when I want. Are you going to be doing more art related videos on this channel? Definitely. I want this to be just a creative outlet. I just want to make art and show people, and I know that watching other people's videos on art or even makeup, like just general, it makes me so happy, and it definitely inspires me, motivates me. So I hope that in some way it kind of motivates you or anybody else, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for out this video. What's the style of your paintings? I like gory stuff and a lot of scary stuff. I do a lot of paintings out of movies that I like. At the moment I'm doing Nightmare Before Christmas for my Halloween decorations, which is on plywood. And I'm working on Beetlejuice from the movie Beetlejuice, if you've not seen it. It's just stuff like that. My next one is actually going to be It from the movie It, like the clown from It, and The Nun. I've got loads of paintings lined up that I really want to do. It's just finding the motivation to do it. But definitely a lot of like scary movies, horror, gory, like I just have so many ideas that I want to do. But yeah, mostly them. Who's your favorite artist? Kevin Lewin, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Michael Hussar and Zach Dunn. They're amazing artists, especially Zach Dunn. His is the kind of art that I'm obsessed with. It's very scary, it's very creepy, and I think it's just amazing. How long does it take to finish one painting? I can't really say how long it takes for me to finish one painting because it just really depends. Like, it could take me hours and hours and hours, but then I could leave that painting for like a whole year and not go back to it till later on. Like the one that I'm doing at the moment, the Beetlejuice one, I started that like 2 years ago, or like a year and a half ago. Somewhere between that I started, and I've still not finished it. I went back to it, started painting for like a couple weeks. So yeah, I hope that I finished the paintings that I'm on at the moment. The one painting that I really need to finish is by Halloween because it's going to be put outside for a decoration. I will be doing videos on that if I have the time and if I have the patience. Yeah, I can't really answer that. It really depends on how big it is. It really depends on the size of it, what materials I'm using, mostly oil paints. Depends on if I'm motivated enough to really get a lot of done in that day. But I can't really say for sure how long a painting takes me. It just really depends. Will you be selling your original paintings? Not at the moment, no. I really have an attachment when I finish a painting. But no, I'm not going to be selling any of my paintings. Unless you want like a commission piece, then I'll be happy to do it. But other than that, not looking to sell any of my paintings. Will you be making prints to sell? Definitely. Once I actually finish the paintings that I have started, I will be making prints and will be selling them. I really want to hopefully own my own business soon, not anytime this year or next year, but I do have plans for the future to have my own business and to sell my artwork and just in general get my artwork out there and get it being noticed. And I'm really excited for that adventure. I really hope that it does work out for me. At the moment it's making me happy just creating artwork and not having to worry about selling it or people wanting it. I'm just happy with creating artwork at the moment, and that's where my mindset is on. No business at the moment. I'm good just painting and just doing things at my own pace. What's your routine when you paint? For example, do you work in the morning or the evening? I function better when the world is asleep. I function better because I have no one around me to make distractions for me. I feel like being quiet and listening to music or having Netflix on in the background is really good for me. I can't paint when it's silent. But lately I've been painting throughout the day, so I'll start around lunchtime and kind of finish around dinner time, like 8, 9, 10 at night. It just really depends on my mood. Like today I'll probably paint because it's lunchtime. I'll probably paint around this time and then finish and take breaks and probably finish when it's nighttime. But on another mood I will be able to like paint and stay up all night. But since I'm trying to get like a routine and because I work nights, it's kind of hard to paint nights because of my routine is just fucked at the moment. So I just paint during the day, but on any other day, probably during the night or when it's dark outside, it's better for me. What brands do you use when painting? I did mention before that I use Winsor & Newton for my oil paints, and as well for my paintbrushes I use Winsor & Newton. Oil paints are very expensive, so in order to get the best outcome is to invest in more higher quality like oils. If you're using oil paints, I recommend Winsor & Newton, or a lot of people go with, is it Gablin or something? But a lot of people use that. I just don't see the hype around it. I've tried it once and it's just not my thing. Like if you're wanting to start painting, do not go into like Hobbycraft or some like cheap store around the corner, because your paintbrushes aren't going to last as well. Your painting's not going to really be the best as you want it to be. And for a painting or for a final outcome, you want something that will look amazing, and for years to come, that painting won't crack or get ruined. Did you go to any art classes? No, I never went to a single one. Obviously, I learned like art in school. I feel like I've always had art in my blood. Like, I just knew that art was going to be something I was going to do for the rest of my life. Art is kind of in the blood in my family. I feel like a lot of my family are very artsy. I also got told that my dad is really into painting, and I was also told that he was a tattoo artist. I feel like a lot of my art comes from my dad. He's very artsy. He paints, he draws, he tattoos, and I feel like I got a lot of that from my dad. And just art is something that I've always been able to do, and I always knew that it was going to be something that is my life. Like, art is going to be a part of my life. So, you know. How do you know when a painting is finished? I don't even know. I just know. Like, I just know when my painting is finished. I kind of, when I look at it and while I'm painting, I kind of get a feeling of, okay, I think this is done. So what I do is I leave it for like a few days, and I come back to it with like a fresh pair of eyes, and I look at it and I look really in detail and kind of fix the things that I want to fix or add more stuff. And then I step back and then look at it, and I just get a feeling of like, okay, it's done. I know it's done. If you're frustrated while you're painting and you can't get something right, leave it, go back to it, leave it a couple of days, leave it a week or two if you want. Go back to it and just look at it with a fresh pair of eyes. Or you could move on to something else and go back to that thing later, because I've done that so many times where I'm really frustrated that something isn't going my way. I leave it, I work on something else, and when I go back to the painting a week or two later, I then fix that problem that I wanted. I just fixed what I wanted to change, and then it looks the way I want it to. What inspires your paintings? A lot of my inspiration comes from like scary movies. A lot of the movies that I watch, especially horror or Tim Burton, like a lot of my inspiration comes from that. As well as seeing other artists like Michael Hussar. His artwork is amazing, and it really inspires me to kind of get off my ass and go paint. What inspires my paintings is just horror. I don't know what else to say. It's just like creepy shit that inspires my paintings. What's your setup when you paint? At the moment, I'm lying on the floor to do a painting that's for my Halloween decoration outside. My setup is lying on the floor with pillows and blankets for my ass, because fuck, your ass hurts if you sit on the floor painting something for a long time. But normally I have a desk and I sit at it. My art room is like a conservatory, like a laundry conservatory that I converted into like my own art space, and it's really small, but it does it for now. Like, I get my paintings done, so I'm not really complaining. What medium do you paint on? I think I mentioned this before. At the moment, I'm painting on plywood for my decoration that's going outside. I normally paint on paper or card or actual cards, like a card set. At the moment, I'm painting on mount board, and that's something that I really love. I did mention before that I absolutely hate canvases. I think it's a waste of fucking time, a waste of money. I don't like canvases, and I just find them ridiculous. Well, that's my opinion. I've tried to use canvas before in the past, but I literally cannot work with them. I don't like the fact that it's not got a smooth surface. I'm also painting on a denim jacket and my Vans. Like, I'm stepping more out of my comfort zone so I can paint on anything that I really find is going to be a smooth surface for me to work on, and that I think for what I'm painting on is going to come up with the best outcome that I think would be good. But that's it for today's video. I really hope that this video maybe motivates you, inspires you. I don't know. I really do want to make more art videos and I really want this channel to be inspiring and motivating, and I really want a big change in how that goes. But aside from that, I want to say thank you so much for clicking on this video, or for my subscribers, thank you for subscribing. It really means a lot. I just really want to make someone out there happy, and I really hope that in some way that these videos bring you some kind of joy, even if it's laughing at me. I don't care. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever. Bye.